Palace is the last hope, but it's just no good. North America, bow down to your new rulers, Team Electros. Diego Gamer's the only one left alive. 6 stars is what they need, but TE want to finish this off 20-star style, and they'll get it. There's a new team to watch here in North America. It's Team Electros.
From the long distance as RBM goes for a clean one-shot, but Memon hits this one. Low HP for Gene, trying to juke around it. They tag him. RBM, a sitting duck. Snowy doing everything he can. RBM finally falls. This region runs through rookies.
This team have made one of the best debuts into the BSC I have ever seen. In July, they won their 3rd monthly final this year, going 9-1 and sweeping Tribe for the 2nd time in a row in the grand finals. They were unlucky to make Brawl Cup in May, but they have secured a World Finals ticket for November this year, and are the underdog team that could make a big impact in the tournament. But it's about time we had a deeper look into this team, how they play, and how they've risen to become one of the best rosters in the region in the span of 6 months. The average age of this team is 16.7. However, these guys have never played in a monthly final before, and they have come out on their debut to destroy professional players who have spent years playing on the top level. So where have they come from? Because the minimum age to participate in the Brawl Esports monthly finals is 16. And Doyne and Memon were too young to participate last year, being 15. So most of their preparation and practice came from third-party tournaments organised by a company called Matcharinos. To anyone who doesn't know, the BSC is not the only way players seek hardcore competitive tournaments. Matcharinos are crowd-funded tournaments where anybody can join and even earn a bit of cash on the side, regardless of age. And since some pros even participate in these tournaments, it means someone like you or me can face a pro player without needing to qualify to the monthly qualifiers. And so, for the last few years, each one of the Team Electros members has been grinding Matcharinos, building experience, knowledge and improving their talent, simply being around pro players. And thanks to Matcharinos, Snowy, Doyne and Memon, our protagonists, were able to form a team together, win some cash tournaments and gain a lot of experience beating real pros. And after years of competing in tournaments and building their team chemistry, they were ready for the big league when the first monthly final began in February 2026. Storytime over, now it's time to look at the present and analyse their performance to show what strategies and tactics they have adopted that are making them the best team in the region and making professional players look like amateurs. I'm looking at you, Tribe. Now, one thing I've noticed watching the quarters is the chemistry this team has. From the way they set up, position themselves, and even the way they choose to push and fall back, they are all on the same wavelength. In Knockout, they are planted around this wall for the long range and to also hold control, waiting for the final moments of the round, where they can launch an attack. And when they strike, their coordination is impeccable. Each player has a role and an opponent to take down, and sometimes they can team up on one brawler. I want to highlight this Leon play here. Whilst the 8-bit and Star Nova are distracting, the Leon takes a swing around and can surprise attack the member of David's aura. Hang on, what kind of name is that? And in Bounty Layer Cake, it gets even better. Electros are always set in the middle and are confident to hold that ground when preparing a push or waiting for a team member to respawn. And they also have faith in one another to make an aggro push. For example, they have faith in the Berry to push this one lane and get the kill, to push this right lane and get the kill and be protected in their mid block. And finally, their proximity. I know it sounds quite obvious that a team should stay close together, but across all the games you will rarely see one of the members of Team Electros drifting off randomly for a 1v1. They are always within touching distance to one another, which creates a compact and dangerous shape for enemies to try and infiltrate, which stops aggro brawlers claiming a sneaky kill. Electros just look so smooth and composed in their movement and playstyle. They never seem to panic and they always preserve their ammo so well. They just glide across the map in one unit and just peck off the enemy one by one. With such a strong chemistry and foundational knowledge of each other, they can glide themselves towards the semi-finals. The next best thing about Team Electros, which is quite apparent in the semi-finals against Batik, is their drafting, because it's rather unique, shall we say. And I'm not saying it's bad, I'm actually saying it's very good. Maybe sometimes too good. Take Heist for instance. They draft Alola, Angelo and Finks. There isn't a clear sign of a Space Maker, aggro brawler or someone who'll be the outlet safe damager. It's actually the opposite. This draft screams control and defense. Lola and Angelo will hold their lane channels with the assistance of Angelo coming across the middle waters, and they can just gradually walk up and push higher until they force Vatic into their spawn. Now this strategy that they have, holding control and slowly walking their way up, reminds me of Pep Guardiola's strategy of death by 1,000 passes. That was a tough time in the Premier League, I'll say that for a Liverpool fan. They gradually work up the field, force the opposition into tight, suffocating spaces and punish them essentially. That's exactly what Electros did. Gradually forced Vatic into their spawn, Finks and Lola prevented Vatic from escaping along the sides, and Angelo was in the middle across the water just slowly chipping the save's health, which handed them the win. And it's not flashy, it's not fast paced, but it's how they play, and as you can see they execute it with perfection. And the final note I made on the draft was how sometimes outdated it was. Just not exactly with the meta is what I'm trying to say. We are seeing lots of max control comps on Bounty and Megs or Surges on Hot Zone, as well as 8-bits, Brox, you know, the usual buffy, overpowered brawlers. But Electros are happy to go with Leon and Pierce on Bounty and a Frank Grey Cheese in Hot Zone. And I'm not saying they're wrong, in fact, it just shows they are so confident with these picks that they perhaps perfected them in a way that they win with relative ease in these games and make minimal mistakes. And like in the quarters, they keep tight, communicate, trust one another, and with their drafts, they managed to squeeze a 5-set victory out of Vatic, making it their third victory against them this year. Ouch. Guys, let's be honest here, Tribe are never winning this grand final against Electros. They haven't even won a monthly final this year, and they've qualified for Worlds. North America, how have you let this happen? Tribe vs Electros has been the new derby in North America, and now it's 3-1 to Electros. And with relative ease too. They go out with their slow roll control strategy in Heist, taking a very control-centered draft and shut down the cars they push most of the time. They are able to dominate the mid and hold Tribe into spawn, whilst the Penny Turret does some of the chip work on the Heist safe, and create space for Electros to push a little and drop the percentage even further. Very similar to the previous Heist game, hold the mid, slowly win with the chip, and in the finals they take the risk of a long-range draft that has no aggro brawlers, but they have quite a lot of damage at range. Another slow roll strategy of forcing Tribe into spawn and waiting for them to make the first mistake that they can punish. They start strong, swing on the left that pinches Tribe to these choke points and even squeeze them to the right wall, but they unfortunately lose the first game. But they don't panic, they slightly adjust their strategy to start the left swing with the Charlie and even breaking open the wall with the Piper Super. Changing the environment is Electros' way of testing if Tribe can adapt and stay on top. But Electros are more adaptable, and it shows, because they can win the next 2 games, claiming the set and becoming the July North America champion.
This region runs through rookies.
So those are some of the quick observations I made of this Electros performance last week, and they are one of the most enjoyable teams to watch in this region. They look like a team that have been playing and dominating the region for years, but it's literally only been 6 months. And even though their prime strategy is in control draft, they can also play aggro. Just like their Brawl Ball game against Tribe, they kind of smashed them and made them look like bots, I'll be honest. They are so versatile and adaptable that they are basically unstoppable. They are unstoppable, ignoring Split 1. But they will be the best team to look out for in Worlds this year, because I think they should give some of the European and East Asian teams a run in for their money. North America, what do you think of this? Could they put a real threat at Worlds? Do you think they have what it takes to make the semis or finals? And are they better than SSG in 2023? Drop a comment on your thoughts and opinions. I love to read them. Let me know if you enjoyed this new content style I am trying. And I guess I'll see you all in August for the final set of monthly finals. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon, Sproutlings. Bye.